Here's a fun fact for everyone. If a YouTuber you like is wearing glasses and they normally don't in their videos, it's probably because they're trying to hide bags under their eyes. Hooray! Now you might be asking, Christian, why are you in some weird barren white room with all your random stuff thrown around in the background and no furniture anywhere? Well, hardcore fans will know that I just moved into a new apartment, but none of my furniture is here yet. And the reason I'm so exhausted is because I thought it would be a good idea, instead of, getting a moving van like a normal person, I thought I'd carry things like my desk and my computer and my tablet and my TV. Because I'm like, I was only moving 5 blocks away, what's the big deal? I'm so tired. And my mattress doesn't arrive for 2 days, so I've been sleeping on an air mattress, and it is so comfortable. It's not comfortable. But none of that is important, because today is one of the best days on PopCross Studios each month. It is the subscriber submission episode. So today, I am going to... What am I doing? I'm drawing submissions from subscribers. It's the sci-fi episode, cut to later after I've showered and look less disheveled and crazy. Okay, now I'm feeling a bit better. Admittedly, I recorded most of this episode yesterday, but I'm re-recording it because I was still exhausted yesterday and I looked kind of crazy, so I shaved up a little bit and I cut my hair, and the apartment still isn't really set up, so the set's kind of bare still. There's gonna be posters and everything up here later, but for now, let's do the sci-fi submission episode, everybody. And guys, I am so impressed with all the submissions, and there were so many. You guys made it so hard for me to pick who I was gonna draw because there was just so much cool stuff in here. We got submissions from Some Person Who Draws, from Speedscape, from The Bloodstorm, Art of Troy, Hyper Chibi Absol, Eevee Dreams, so many. Aiden from Love Bandits. Oh, there's just tons of submissions both on the Discord and in the PopCross Animations email, and I'm so impressed, and it's all so cool. It was so hard to just pick 5, and I kind of wanted to make this episode longer, but as I said, I'm going through the moving process and getting furniture, so I'm just going to do 5 this time, but I might expand the episode next time. Also, I'm going to announce what the next episode topic is at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around for the whole thing. But I think we gotta get right into it because I've been doing a lot of rambling this episode. So let's start with a submission that I was super impressed with by someone I've mentioned already, Figs Art. And we are gonna be redrawing... Turn iPad? My phone's not focusing. Come on, focus. There we go. This. So cool, so awesome. So we're gonna redraw this guy. And let's jump into it. Let's go. So this one really had me thinking like kind of Battle Angel Alita style, like not that character specifically, but as if this character was from that world or something. And I just love the visuals of it. I love the exaggerated big robot arm with big shoulder, and I didn't really try to change anything with my version. I kind of just tried to draw all the same details you had, but in my style and rendered in my style. I think I made the chin a little bit smaller and might have made the hair a little bit more forward instead of back. I might have made the character a bit younger looking than you have them, but all in all, I tried to stick with what you had, and I just love the original design. I also, with the eyes, tried to give the sort of dot light kind of things a bit of a like an expression, like one of these kind of things. I can't really do that face. I thought the smoking thing was cool, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna almost make this sort of like a little bit of a public service announcement kind of thing, and I'm gonna have the character flicking away the cigarette as if it's the last time the character's ever gonna smoke, like they've just realized it's bad for them. Although admittedly this character looks like, I don't know the character that well, but they kind of look like they might not care if something's bad for them. They're gonna do it anyway. But I liked having the pose of just them flicking it away with that big giant robot hand that they've got, because that was so cool looking, and I wanted to draw attention to that. And besides that, I do my usual rendering. So let's take a look at this final version of Figs Art's drawing in my style. I'm not even gonna lie, I like your original character better than the way I redrew it. It's super cool looking. Alright, thanks for the submission, Figs Art. Now we're gonna move on to someone who I hadn't actually seen anything from on the Discord, but admittedly I haven't been as active on there while I've been going through the whole crazy moving and trying to find an apartment process. But anyway, the next one up is a nice change of pace. It's more of an alien, kind of cute-ish not quite monster, maybe a hero, not totally sure, but the character's name is Lapis, the artist's name is Eevee Dreams, and this is the character we're redrawing, and I think it is so cool looking. Can't wait to do that hair. Let's get right into it. Now, this one is one of those submissions that I picked because it's not something that I would naturally draw myself. Like, it's not a character that if I sat down to draw a sci-fi character, this is something I'd come up with, and I really like that about it. I also drew the character as if they're kind of psychic, like doing a sort of Professor X or Jean Grey style pose, and I don't actually know if the character's psychic. I don't know why that came to my head, maybe because they don't really seem to have legs and are floating a bit. But anyway, I gave them that kind of pose. Sorry if they don't actually have some kind of psychic powers or anything. And again, with this one, I didn't try to change any details from what you had. I just tried to do it in my style. I might have made the arm sleeves a little bit bigger and flowier. Well, maybe not. You have them pretty flowy too. But yeah, I just tried to do it in my kind of style. I also gave the hair a bit of a nebula kind of like there's dots floating off of it as if it is almost not like a fire, but it's some kind of element, and that kind of seems like that's what you were going with, and I really like that aspect of the character. And then for the colors, I gave it big gradients across the body, going from a light pink to a deeper purple, and I think that looks really cool and really helps make this piece what it is. With the face, I also give it a pretty angular, kind of strong cheekbones, because she almost looks like she's doing not quite a duck face, but something close to that. And I had some rim lighting at the end, and here you go, my final take on Eevee Dreams artwork. That turned out really nice. Super fun to draw. Thank you so much for the submission, Eevee Dreams. Next up, we are doing another kind of alien creature, but this one is even more monstrous. The artist's name is Birdwood, and here is their creature. And it's sick. It's like a flaming magma dragon with hooves and rocky bits, and it looks great. And I think Birdwood said, "Sorry for bad art, I'm 12, this isn't great." I disagree. I think it is great, and I'm gonna redraw it right now. Thank you for submitting it. Now this one took me right back mentally to that Fantastic Four as dragons episode I did, because it reminds me a lot of my version of The Thing as a dragon, which might have been why I was so attracted to drawing this piece, because I had a lot of fun with that dragon, and just doing rocky textures in general I find super fun, because you can just get kind of scratchy, and if you don't do a straight line, it's not a big deal because it's a rock. It's supposed to be rough and gritty, and then especially with the magma kind of flowing through it. As I've said a few times in the last few videos, I've really liked drawing ice lately, and magma, I was like, this is probably the same kind of rendering idea, except instead of using a blue, I use more of a red or orange, obviously, because it's magma, and I could add some glow coming off those parts of the body, as if it's like big, thick veins running along the character, except instead of denting out like a vein would, it dips into the skin, and it's just so cool looking, and the colors overall end up looking really great. It actually ends up reminding me a little bit of like I forget the term. It was like a Mega Bloks, not a Mega Bloks dragon, but something like that. Something that I used to have a toy of when I was a kid. And this, like, I could see this being on the box for an action figure of this dragon or something like that. And I think it ends up looking really cool, especially the rendering that I do on the lava. And there was so much to go off of from your original artwork. So here you go with the finished version of my take of Birdwood's dragon. Thank you very much for submitting, Birdwood. That was super cool to redraw. I really like how it turned out. That's an awesome looking creature. Next up, we've got some art from someone who's submitted before, but I've never redrawn any of their stuff, and I finally got to one. Here it is. We are gonna do some art from Speedscape, and we're gonna be redrawing his RoboCop doggo kind of character. Pretty cool looking. Let's see what I can do with this. Now with this one, I was kind of feeling inspired to add some more details. Not because I felt the character needed it, I just kind of wanted to do something a little bit Iron Man-y and add in some details inspired by some of the cool Marvel Cinematic Universe Iron Man costumes. And I think those elements really work to make this character even more fleshed out and interesting. I add some glowy lights on the shoulder a little bit, and I add just a few more details along the arms, and I don't do a particularly dynamic or interesting pose with this one, but I didn't really feel like he needed it. I kind of wanted the whole costume to be visible in just a straight up standing position, have the character kind of looking off into the distance in some kind of like they're looking off at a battle that they're about to charge off into, and I think that ends up being really cool and just it works for this character. Even though I usually lean towards dynamic poses, I think this one really works. It kind of looks like a promo art or something, and I love that kind of the chopped off, not quite peg leg that you have on the character, because it's got two little, I don't know what you call it, but I think it's super cool. I want to know where that came from and how he lost that part of his leg, and it's just great looking. I also love the colors of the head in contrast with the rest of it, because I gave him the rest of him as you did, sort of like a bluish gray armor, and then the head is brown and just pops out really nicely. So once I've got the lighting done, here is the finished version of Speedscape's artwork. That is one tough looking dog. Thank you very much for the submission, Speedscape. Now everyone, for this last one I was racking my brain going through the art, trying to figure out who else's I should draw, and there's so many good submissions that I want to try something a little different. If you all don't like it, please let me know in the comments and I won't do it again. If you love it, please let me know that too, and I might do more of these in an upcoming episode. Maybe in the April one I'll do more, but I'm thinking because I do lots of mashups on this channel, for the last drawing I'm going to take two people's artwork and mash them up into one character, and I thought of this because one of the artworks that I really like is by Sir G, and this character doesn't have legs, and it got me thinking like, okay, if I draw this one, what kind of legs should I give it? And then I was looking through some of the other art being like, well, maybe I'll draw a piece that has a full body character, and I came across Aiden's character, and I just thought to myself, what if I take these two characters and I do a mashup of them? So Aiden and Sir G, I'm sorry if you don't love that I'm doing this to your character, I just wanted to try it out. I thought it could be a fun idea, hopefully you're into it. But yeah, let's see what a mashup of Sir G and Aiden's character Killjoy would look like. Now this one was a blast. I really hope people end up liking this mashup idea, taking subscriber characters and mashing them up, because this was super fun. Admittedly, when I started this drawing at the very beginning, I realized partway through that I didn't know what gender I was making the character, because Killjoy's a girl and Sergi's artwork is a guy, and I was like, oh, I don't know which way I'm going, so I ended up making it a pretty broad-shouldered woman, and then I kind of tucked the shoulder in a little bit more, and I do go with a female character. The elements from Killjoy are obviously the costume, the character's female, the blonde hair, and then the elements from Sergi's art are all the robot bits, the arms and the eye, and it kind of struck me as something like how Cable from X-Men has a techno-organic virus. I'm not actually sure if that's the intention, but from the eye I kind of got that idea, so I gave it a bit more like some cybernetic veins kind of coming out of the eye, and I think that's super cool. And the arms, I think I actually end up liking Sir G's version of the arms better. I don't quite detail them in the same way, but I do still think they look pretty cool. I just made them look a little bit more Winter Soldier-ish, I guess, where yours look a little bit more steampunk than mine. Maybe steampunk's the wrong word, but yours look detailed in a different way than I ended up doing them. And besides that, I do all my usual stuff. I really like the bright green of the costume and how the lack of detail in the costume kind of contrasts with the details in the arm and the eye. I think it's all good stuff, so let's wrap it up, and here is the finished version of our Cyber Killjoy. Cyber Killjoy. I'm into it. Thank you both so much for your submission, Sir G and Aiden. Again, I hope you're okay with me mashing up your characters. I had a lot of fun doing it. I think it turned out pretty cool. and I love both of your original artworks. So everybody else, let me know in the comments if you like the idea of doing the whole mashup episodes. In fact, I'll have people specify when they're submitting artwork if you're okay with me doing a mashup or you'd rather I not. Of course, the odds of your character getting drawn are a little bit more likely if you're cool with a mashup, but there's still a chance your character gets drawn even if you would rather I not mash them up with someone else. Now, I'm sure you're all eager to hear what the next topic is for the next submission episode. The April submission theme is going to be Dragon Slayer. So you can either submit a dragon of any kind, a robot dragon, fantasy dragon, whatever kind of dragon, and someone who would slay a dragon, some kind of knight or superhero or whatever, someone with something that would help them slay a dragon. I'm excited to see what you got. Anyone who's never submitted before, you can join the Discord, link is in the description below, or you can send me an email at popcrossanimations@gmail.com, or you can join the Facebook group, which is also linked below, or you can private message it to me on Instagram, but preferably, my favorite of all of those is the Discord, because there's a channel in there called Characters for Pop that I can just scroll through and see all the artwork, and it's super cool. There's a great group of people in there. They're really nice. Everyone's sharing artwork and chatting and sharing memes and all that kind of stuff. So join it below. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'm going to, clean up my apartment a little bit, start hanging some posters, and then go to bed, because I'm exhausted. I will see you all at the next video. Goodbye.